Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with yet another video from the one and only The Last Talk Show. And I'm here with the man who has proven himself to be such an intellectual baddie, such a man, such a man that just knows what to say and how to say it. You can't hate the man. You gotta love him. And I'm talking about Christian. I'm talking about Chris. I'm talking about Chrissy R, as some would call him in the streets. Christian, how you doing today? Or no one calls you.
Find me these streets where people are calling me Chrissy. No, I'm actually doing a lot better now. That was really funny. I appreciate that. But no, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing blessed, highly favored, lucky, fortunate, all of the above.
My man. And I just love him dearly because we have to discuss. And that's the thing. And we did this before with Wally the P. We talked about Trump's 5 worst moments years back. And we talked about, at that time, Biden, right? So I think it's totally fair to weigh out the worst of both.
Right.
You know, because that's our 2 contenders. You know, that's what we have. We got to deal with it. So let's talk about Kamala's blind ranking once again. Christian did a great job first time. A lot of you agreed. A lot of you disagreed. But hey, we're back again. I'm just going to go from maybe bottom to the top.
Okay.
This time of just how I ranked it. I didn't think of a rank. I just was like, hey, what was trash that they did? And, you know, put it in my phone. So the first one I'm going to start with is old Cammy had a totally what appeared to me. We're going to show the video. Actually, she had a video with Taraji P Henson.
Okay.
And it was for like the you know, Black Network and all this stuff, promote all Black culture. And show the video.
Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
They not.
There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote.
Yep.
The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body, not having her government tell her what to do.
My God. Oh, passion. Hurts.
Where are we ranking that in terms? That is, in my opinion, one of the. I'd almost put it number 1. No, that is, and I hate using this word, but that is cringe.
It's very bad.
If you saw, and I'm gonna put your face as you were watching.
I'm out here in these streets. Crazy to say, like they say, they not like us.
That's the one. Kendrick is.
How dare you put? Kendrick is he's rolling over in his bed right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's rolling in his bed right now. Hopefully nothing happens to Kendrick between now and.
Oh gosh, well,
because then it would be correct. But
well, I'll edit. Okay, anyway,
yeah,
they not like us.
Yeah, that was wild to say.
As they say,
that's wild.
Which creates the division. Like, oh, I'm not a part of this group of us.
Right.
But it's just too many layers to unpack.
I think what we need to get back to doing as a country is explaining how we are alike.
Yeah, and that's what she was trying to do.
There's some things I agree with. I don't necessarily. I think that. I think that until the custody and child support system gets a revamp, I don't think men should necessarily be determining what is going on with women's bodies. I feel like that should be
just women.
To be fair, though, right? Do I think that I would have some input as a father, as a man myself, into what's going on? Yeah, I think that needs to be also looked at, and probably something going on there. But
and we're not even this ranking has nothing to do with what she's.
I think it has everything to do with that video, and that video was pretty bad.
And the music, it was so not authentic.
It's so out of touch.
That's what it is.
With the audience that she's trying to touch. It's crazy.
And young people don't like when older people do that. It's not funny. It's
right.
Not,
I don't want to hear my dad say it's fire.
Yeah. Exactly.
He says it all the time, and I love my dad.
And you love your dad, and you
it's
laugh,
funny
but
every
it's
time.
not that it's, but it's like,
because if I said it, it's all right. Right? Yeah,
that's your culture. Yeah,
I'm hip. So, I'm jive, aren't I?
Yeah, it just doesn't look. So where does that rank?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Be careful though. Be careful.
Do they? Okay, in your opinion.
Because I'm not gonna help you rank, but I kind of said. But anyway,
I'm gonna put. You know what? I'm gonna put that at a. But here's the thing, though. Are her moments? Like, is that the crux of how
I can't really tell. Okay, I will say this. Unfortunately, and I hate to admit this, her top 5 worst, all of them are nothing like the egregiousness of Trump's. I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
So what I have prepared for you is not really anything. Well, on one end it is, but at the same time, it's not really political in terms of legislation, in terms of the look of the country. But at the same time, it is someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one at 1. Okay. I'm gonna say it's very good.
Lord.
I'm gonna put it up there. And the reason why I'm gonna put it up there is because to all the points that we made, right? If this is supposed to be, and it is, broadcasted at me, middle-aged black male, right? Who they not like us.
They not like us.
That was for you. That was for me, right? We out here in these streets. Girl, I'm out here in these streets. It's so out of touch.
Too bad.
I think it's crazy. We're talking about a woman who has like social media mishaps, and those are her problems, as opposed to an old white man. But if we did have like a 70-something-year-old black man up there, you might hear some racist. Because we wouldn't call it racist because we're black, but it's racist. Okay, think about it like this, right? When was it ever acceptable to tell your child, don't date someone who's not black?
But there's history behind that.
No, but that doesn't
think about it.
It doesn't change as racist.
Wait, hold up. If a black parent told their black son, don't date a white woman,
right?
Is it because they think that white person is less than?
What's
my answer for you?
Right.
No, it's not because they think they're less than.
Okay.
It's because of, look at what happened to my boy Emmett. Look at what happened to Medgar, Martin, and Malcolm.
Right.
Look at what happened to people that support RFK, that wanted to support.
Right.
You get waxed. So if I love my son enough, just like I would tell you, hey, watch out for the cops, man. If you're with them, be extremely respectful. Keep your hands on the wheel. Is it because I think cops are? No, it's because something negative may happen.
Right.
But when when white mama told Billy Bob, hey, don't date that dark-skinned, you know they didn't say dark-skinned, don't date that girl, that dark-skinned Taekwonisha. Do you think it was because something may happen?
No, that's fair. So I'll hear you. I hear you out in the sense of the reasons why, right? And the reason why it was presented to me and why it was put on my doorstep was, to your point, protection.
Yes.
Right? My grandmother, 1939, right? I'm fairly sure what she grew up in, not the environment in which you want to bring home somebody.
Yeah.
My mom, let's see, she's 27, so let's say 97 when she grew up, right? Definitely not a time period in which we want, we would probably trust the others.
Yeah.
I think in 2011 to have that conversation does show that it stopped being from a matter of protection, right?
I think the data would differ. When you still had Trayvon after 2011 being murdered, you still had, and I'm gonna just keep it real. Even people, and I'm not.
If we're talking about people killing our people, we shouldn't be bringing home people who are black. If that's what we're gonna look at. If we're gonna look at numbers, who kills black people the most?
Blacks.
So if we're looking at it from a protection perspective,
but that's then that just logically won't make sense, because then it's like, so date everybody else except, because others kill us too.
Date Hindus. No, they don't kill us at all. They don't touch us. But the reason why I said it was racist is not necessarily because, and when I guess I should probably clarify my definition of racist is that if the phrase itself we would condemn a white person for saying, it's probably racist.
Yes.
Don't bring home no one that's not black.
Yeah.
That's for protection. Don't bring home nobody that's not white, and we say that's because of racism. I'm fairly sure if we listen to like super racist older grandparents and like that, in their mind, we're criminals, right? In their mind, we're animals, we're mindless.
Older black people?
Older white people, like older racist white people.
Yeah, of course.
They would look at it and say, don't bring home nobody that's not black for protection. Because yada, 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 yada. It's not right. It's not like ours.
But do they have receipts to pull that up? The answer technically is no. Now, you can have one instance of anything.
Right.
Literally. So she was R-worded by somebody back in the South, if it was even true.
If it was even, right.
If it truly happened, because there are some evil blacks all throughout history, sure, yes. But then the receipts of whites doing it to blacks,
I'll give you that.
At a much
recent, right?
And recent.
I'll give you that.
I would say the old black president who's standing and saying these racist things, it's like, well, look at what this person, and I wouldn't even say it's right, but it's not with the same the same energy.
The same energy behind it. Okay, I'll give you that.
The same history, and it does matter.
Well, okay,
and that's
so
why people love bringing up Trump as a racist, because you look at his past, and me and you had that beautiful discussion, not on camera, but of Central Park 5 and not renting the black tenants, and it's like you made very logical points, but that is not.
Well, let's look at it.
We got to get back to the ranking.
You're good.
But finish it real quick. Finish.
September 11th.
Yes.
Right when 9/11 happened, I'd say as a country we all immediately became a little racist, little xenophobic. I would call it, right? But it was xenophobia out of protection. So where it comes from is this idea that they're all going to bomb us. But and I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound like what was that? What's Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, Kelly? The one she was like when she was like, well, if you kick out all the Mexicans, who's gonna clean your toilets, right?
My God.
What she said makes completely sense. Damn near his entire janitorial staff was Mexican. But the same people that are like, oh yeah, no, the Arabs and all that stuff, they're doing that. Literally just like the day before, you were cool with. I don't know.
Yeah,
you were cool with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you're doing this. I think with that hive mind mindset, I think that I do think it was a problem. I do think racism is a problem, but I do agree where you're coming from. It's probably the energy behind it.
Yeah, and I think most Americans, even racist old whites, would be like, they're not saying it with the same reason I'm saying don't date N-words, don't date them, because it's like, it was just hate for no reason.
Yeah,
you were never taught, and I'm serious, we were never taught to hate white people.
That's
never.
Fair.
We were never taught. Hey, don't.
I also wasn't taught to love them either.
Okay, and I respect that.
Right, I was not told. I was never
because
taught
look at the history
to accept, and I'll give you that. Right. So what we ended up doing was
just
a lot of that.
Yeah, stay with your community, even though we kill each other the most. We still love each other. I'm gonna still argue that we still love each other.
I still don't want to go to the South. I still think they're racist. And there's
no point. Now the food is good, but DoorDash.
DoorDash me. Yeah, I want
country DoorDash.
I want to be up in the Hyatt.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the rank, but we're keeping that in.
I'm keeping that at 1.
Fantastic.
Because it hurt.
Keeping that at 1.
It hurt to watch.
Yes. Oh,
it hurt my spine.
Okay. So let's go for this one. I have to go in order. Now, to me, this does relate to her as a leader.
Okay.
And we'll play clips. We don't have too much time because YouTube will demonetize. But she's a yapper. When she's asked questions straight up, yes or no, she does not answer. Now, that's most politicians, by the way. So this is not just an attack Kamala show, but we'll play some clips.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Are you Democrat or are you Republican?
Well, when I was a child, and I grew. It's like, wait, answer. If I said this,
monologuing 101.
If I asked you, what's your name?
Well, that's hard. It depends on who's asking, right? If you were to ask my mom, she would say Christian. If you were to ask the one night stand, she would say G. I don't give up.
That's why I couldn't wait to do this with you. So we don't even have to go that deep on it. But where would you rank? And the video evidence of her, just even in the recent town halls and debates, and it's like, these are very straightforward questions that I think middle school, high school students could answer, but she's not.
I think that she should be able to articulate her response to the question when I'm asking you a very specific question as a leader, right?
Yeah.
I would probably put that fourth.
Okay.
I'm going to put it down there only because I'm a rambler myself.
Me too.
So I can't necessarily be upset that people ramble. We probably rambled here.
No, but I think we still spoke to the point.
I guess that's fair.
When we first, just like when you said, what would be the difference between, a black older president, I answered it directly. I said the history. That's the answer.
I'll give you that.
But Kamala, like you just said, if I said, Christian, what are your thoughts on, do you support gay marriage? And and I said yes or no. And you said, well, let's start off with this. When life started, no. This was
Please, I'm just trying to go back to my seat.
That leads me to my next one that I want. So we have one is the most cringeworthy video I believe of 2024.
I'd
and then 4
2020s.
Yeah, probably. Oh, you're just summing up all 4 years.
Because again, this is what we're talking about. It's not like an influencer says some cringy or does some cringy. You're trying to You're trying to win the position of the most important person. In the world.
Yep.
And and Taraji P Henson, I love her.
I love her. I'll always love her.
But
I still, in my heart, I love Kamala. I was a believer. I'm supposed to love everybody, right? So I don't have anything against anybody. But if you have anyway,
I love
ranking. So we have one cringeworthy crap of the 2020s, maybe 2010s, but we'd have to really do some research. Number 4, Yapper, not answering questions. Now, this is not ranked yet. I want your thoughts on, speaking of her yapping, she was on Fox News.
Okay.
And I give her major props.
Major props.
Very bold move.
Major props.
To go to your
biggest
rival.
Biggest one, I'll give it to you.
Biggest blood versus Crip. Well, he ain't gonna put it up because he knows. Blood versus Crip.
I know where I'll drive.
Blood versus Crip. And she did her best to stand her ground. But to me, one of her worst moments in that interview is Brett, I believe, was the interviewer. Brett. I think it was some white guy. And then Brett says, explain yourself on this. And her response is, Brett, you know what I'm talking about. And he's like, no, I actually don't know what you're talking about. Play the clip so you know I'm not making it up. Play the clip.
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So what would you say? To me, it's just not a good look when people say, and it's like, no,
I think that, especially even when we look at any relationship, how communication is the topic, right?
Absolutely.
If it probably would have been a little bit better if after he had said, or after she said, you know what I'm talking about, and he said, I genuinely don't, I would like you to elaborate more. Yep. And then she went on to elaborate. I'm fairly sure she didn't. Yep. I think that I would probably put that at a 3. These are things where the difference between what we're going to hold Trump to and what we're going to hold Kamala to is their positions that they've already been in.
Yes.
So what we're doing right now is holding her to a standard of how are you going to behave on the world stage in front of people under pressure?
Yep.
Trump, we've seen how you're going to do it. We've seen how we saw you for 4 years,
yep.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I do think it's funny that she's getting those biting questions when Trump was like, remember, he was like, you would not have asked Biden these questions. Why are you asking these to me?
Very true.
Right.
Very
so
true.
yeah, I'll give her that. I will put that at a 3 because I think it does demonstrate an inability to
effectively communicate and state your point. And like I said, if you're going to come back from someone saying, I don't know what you're talking about, that gave her time to delay to think.
Right.
Like an expert debater, most
a master debater.
But it's like you can step back and, think about your points. But if you're going to go, I don't know, and then you don't have the logical capacity to explain yourself.
Right. How did you arrive at the point?
It's just like, are you really, should you be serving the most powerful country on earth? And hopefully it stays that way. Okay, so I got 2 more for you.
2 and 5?
Yeah, so 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are the positions, 2 and 5.
This is
my next one, I think I'll know you'll rank this. For some reason, and now we've seen others do this, I won't say any names, other politicians that are very important, adopt fake accents as they travel across the nation. She's known for when she's in certain southern states.
Oh yeah, I'll put that at a 2.
Have empathy, man. For the suffering of other people. Have no sense of purpose.
If his attention was her accent that people said was not her usual voice.
So many friends. I love you back. I want to. Hello to all my divine 9 brothers and sisters. And my soror. I tell people, look, you may not be a union member. You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. Thank unions
This is the same reason why we had the issue with Drake.
You're putting that at a 2.
Sorry, out of 5.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I saw the number 2.
Okay, no, I got you. So you're putting that as a 5, and I agree with that. It's not the most big deal.
No,
but I still, but like our number one cringe, it's still a worse moment because it's not who you are.
It's not who you are.
And you don't have to do that.
Right, Drake, we know you're not Canadian, or we know you're not Jamaican. But he
still sound a little good.
He do be doing it nice, though.
And I'm not a Drake fan,
but yeah, you're again, this is where it's like I've listened to Count Me Out recently by Kendrick, where he's basically like, in a good amount of the album where he's saying like, yo, this is who I am and this is what I'm trying to give y'all. I don't want to do anything that's not me. Like I didn't lose sleep because I got the privilege, which
right.
Like I think if you went to the Bronx or you went to Harlem or you went to these places and you start adopting, you might get this people, But I mean, to be fair, if they're at your rally, they're probably already voting for you.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, you don't have to do this. Even the number 1, which is still to me should be even ranked higher than 1 if possible, because it's just so awful with Taraji. I'm like, you don't have to do it.
Right.
You don't have to do that. That's not going to make you more believable. It's not going to get the young people. So even the fake accents, like you said, they're already there to support you.
Right.
You doing that would actually make them be like, you know what? I don't want some phony flippant.
Right.
And it's not even a good Southern accent. Let's make it sound like real Southern.
Yeah, I don't have it. That's the one accent I can't do. I can do any other accent.
Can you do British?
Yeah.
Hit me up.
Queen, mate, blood sausage.
Butt sausage?
Blood sausage.
Oh, they do like that. Like pig blood, right? They put...
Hail Mary.
You can't give me you can't give me Jason Statham? Come on, Mike.
But he's not. I don't think he's British.
I thought he was British.
Isn't he Australian?
He might be Australian.
He's Australian. Oh. Hello, mate. Let's put another shrimp on board.
Well,
Cheerio.
Cowboy Bebop and all that.
Finally, we're at our final one. And I think this actually might rank perfectly with how we placed 1, 3, 4, and 5. She is known to kind of contradicts herself, as many politicians do.
Right.
But when asked, what would you do differently from Joe Biden? Her only thing that she lists is, well, I'm not Joe Biden.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
And that's about
wild. I'm glad that's that too.
And that's like insulting.
It's insulting.
I'm actually interviewing you seriously, and you're telling me you're not Joe. Duh.
You're telling me you're not the vice president.
Yeah.
Of the man that you held his hand up and said, we're going to do this.
Yep.
Again, like I mentioned before, how we need to stop as a country talking about how we're different.
Yeah.
That is such snake behavior. It's not worse than the video. Yeah. It's such snake behavior.
It isn't.
In my opinion, if you're the vice president.
Yeah.
And they ask you, well, what are you going to do? Or, what are you going to do different than Biden or whatever it is? Your role, your responsibility right there is to explain what he has done, the strengths that he has had, built upon those. Yeah. And in order to push that forward, some things that I feel we need to be more progressive on are blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
That's one thing. But you're not Joe Biden. When people voted for Joe Biden for whatever reason, they voted for him for. People voted for him, and now you're telling me you're not the man that we put in office.
It's not a good look.
Trump's not Joe Biden either.
Right. Literally. No one else is.
And he has the experience.
The one person that actually is supposed to stand by.
Right.
Not like poor
to stand back and stand by.
To stand back and stand by, and actually to be like, hey, we did our best with what we had, but I plan to build upon that foundation.
Correct.
Because I still respect this man. But some people don't even think he's living anymore. Some people think it's a clone. But that's all.
Have you seen him recently?
He looks different every other month.
Bro,
and I haven't seen him recently, actually.
That's what I'm saying, bro. What happened to the president?
What happened to the boy?
This is what we're talking about. It's crazy. Maybe we do need to fix the system. Maybe we don't need a new president. I think we need One president every 6 years, and that's it. That's your term is up. I think that
You don't get a second.
I don't think 4 years. I don't think 4 years is long enough to do anything. I think 8 years is too long to do everything. I think that I was the company I was working for. We had people working there for 40 years.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And let's say I need you to work on this comb, right? I need you to build this comb, but you've been building this since you got there.
Okay.
Just because you're good at making the pick doesn't necessarily mean that you're good at making this one.
Right.
I think that when we look at like Trump having been in office and Biden having been in office, Trump still kind of looks like Trump. Biden for sure, like you were saying. Every picture, it's crazy because it's 20 pictures of him. Old white dude, regular blah blah blah. Yeah. And then
started looking. That's like.
Then he started like, Then that white really cracked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That.
Because he was a track dude. He had the aviator glasses on.
Yeah.
Blah blah.
Look fresh.
Hey, let's get these monsters out of here.
Right.
He did. It is what it is. He did say it.
Yeah.
But Obama did make him his. Again,
look at that. Full circle. That's the Democrat way.
That's wild.
But and the Democrats' defense, J.D. Vance, Trump, same thing. J.D. Vance saying he's like Hitler and all this stuff, and now you're Trump's VP. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but when people walk back on crazy stuff they said like that and then join the team, it's like, you could either sell it as, because he really is winning and he does a good look, or it's like, no, are you really that? You can't stand true to what you really believe. So just to get the money and the popularity, whatever the clout,
now you're gonna get
it because I don't know your.
I don't understand how they're choosing these vice presidents personally.
That could have been me and you.
It could have been. And
I think you can be. You don't know if you have to be 35 to be VP. Can you be younger to be VP, or do you have to be 35?
I don't know if the same presidential things affect.
Yeah, because I know for president you got to be 35, but I think. For VP, could it be like a dog, or could it be?
I thought a president had to be 52. Never mind, I was wrong.
But I don't know how they're getting these, but I think both Tim Walz and JD Vance are both equally garbage VPs, and that's why their debate was so boring. And all they did was love on each other. People were shocked at how well that debate went. It was like a classy.
It's probably exactly what a debate should have been like.
Actually, yes, but I think we don't like that they didn't really debate. It was more like our views are not the same, but it's not like they're that. Because Republicans and Democrats are both trash. So it's like they're not really that dimensional.
Right, and I do think we need more of that as a country. For sure.
That's why I hate kind of to say I'm moderate, but it's like libertarian. It's like, no. If we can gather both the best of both parties, we'd have a great nation.
We'd have a pretty good nation.
We really would. And we still do right now, shockingly enough.
Our nation's amazing, right?
Isn't that crazy? All the problems, and I love, I don't love the history.
If we weren't on an island, we would have been invaded by now, though.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah. If I were Russia and I was next to America with the free the nipple hats and the soft changing the military standard like that, like in general, just we as a country look relatively weak. We are just on an island.
Now, what do you think though? Because the foreign media reporting how we look, they may not do how our media reports us. I'm not really sure.
Our media don't report us as such. Our media has done such a job of propping up America that Americans think that America's trash.
Okay.
Like when we say like America's number one, you'll hear like, oh yeah, we're number one in incarcerations. Oh yeah, we're number one in blah, blah, blah. But when COVID happened,
who was on top of it?
Who was looking? Where was the world looking? South America was looking north at us. The East was looking west at us. The West was looking at east. And America was like, oh, okay, we'll figure it out.
And we handled it.
And
that's something they don't give Trump credit for.
They don't. They also don't.
That's where I'm like,
they also don't give Trump credit for not starting a war. Yeah. It's the only president in the recent history. And
this is a Kamala video. See, we're doing what Kamala does.
Right, I'm sorry. Let's put it at 5.
But we have to.
Let's rearrange that order.
But what we have ranked so far, and that's it, but we have Taraji. Okay, I'm going to go from bottom to top.
I'm going to watch that in the car.
We're going to talk about that one more time. Fake accents is 5, which I think I agree with everything here.
Fine, right.
4 would be the yapping without really answering a question, which is significant, but we have others more. You know what I'm talking about is 3, because it kind of relates to 4. 2, I wouldn't do anything differently from Joe Biden. That's a bad look. And number 1, I really wanted to pull. Now this hair is I just love my natural hair, but I wanted to pull it out.
Yeah, I know.
Because that number 1 is so detestable. It's so deplorable. Right. It's so dumb.
It's that video elicited the reaction of every employee in the world that has had to sit through safety training,
oh my Lord,
or has had to sit through HR training, or has had to sit through ethics training, where it's like, hey guys, that's real lit that you reported the pencils being stolen, or something stupid where it's like,
you hit the nail on the head.
To only have Taraji P Henson, because again, this is what I'm talking about when it came to the newspaper article I saw earlier with like Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
Said fighting for women, LGBT teachers. It said fighting for all this other shit. I'm like, well, you specified women, but I don't see men in here. So you're not fighting for me. Yeah. So why would you get my vote? Right. You can also fight for men.
Yeah.
And reproductive
and you
rights.
can say that. It only takes about a half a second to say the word men.
We're fighting for all. We're fighting for men. We're fighting for women. We're fighting for everybody across the board.
Not easy.
Blah 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 blah. And you, okay, well, nice. But again, that's probably why people Trump, because the majority of voters are men.
Yeah.
He is speaking from a platform of men do it, and men are like. Yeah.
But what I like about Trump is that, like we said, he's not only saying, I'm just for men. I'm just for men. It's like there are women for Trump that have signs and shirts that say women for Trump.
Latinos,
and he shouts them out even before the Arnold Palmer thing.
Right.
He said, I love women.
I'm just saying.
Package. And you don't do that, Christian. You never say, I love women, but that makes you gay.
Yeah.
Edit this out, maybe.
That's like saying, I'm not racist, but you clearly racist.
You cannot say, Christian, man, I love women, but. Man, that dude's.
He's packing right now.
Can you do that?
No,
hey, if you're gay, that's
with a straight face, probably not. But it is the I'm not racist, but I don't want to sound mean. But
I just love women. I don't talk about my own penis.
I talk about it often enough.
I don't see really the point. To me, as a confident man who, I just said I don't talk about it, but I will say.
Yeah, you go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and talk about it. Let them know. It's Big D in this video proof.
I'm not like I don't want other men to ever talk about it because they haven't seen it. I'm not in showers with them. I've never was in the locker room, even at the gym. I don't do it.
Really?
I don't. Huh. And if I did, I'd have a bathing suit on.
At some point, you just gotta let it. You gotta let it hang out.
I know.
I remember my first shower in basic training. I was like, this is weird. You know, white people doing shower.
Oh, well,
they're doing jumping jacks.
Yeah. Flip flop.
And I'm like, okay, don't see the point here. But yeah, no, it was at some point you get tired of trying to wash around a towel or blah blah blah. You're like, all right,
shower somewhere else, man.
Really?
I don't want any time to ever have a man say, wow, he was not well endowed.
So you're in the group shower and dude comes over to you and goes, hey bro, I love women, but but I wish I had that you had because mine just don't look like that.
All I would do now I'd be like, oh, don't get away from me. But okay, really? All right, man, have a good. I'll just say, okay, man, thank you, have a good one.
And then what do you like about it?
Hold it up. It's like, dude, here's a magnifying glass.
Zoom in on it.
You terrible.
I like the vein right
LGB 101. Okay, thank you so much. All right, folks. Well, we ranked it up. You had your taste of both. Trump's worst moments, Kamala's worst moments. Comment and tell us what you think. This man needs to get back on IG because this man has such a wealth of knowledge
back on IG.
That you need to
now that I'm wearing
YouTube
glasses,
channel. So if he does before this airs, we will tag him. If he doesn't, at some point you got to connect with the legend, Chrissy R. That's what they call him in the streets. So please continue to like, subscribe, comment, share. Christian, any final thoughts? Anything you want to share with the people of America?
I might just have to create an Instagram.
Please do. Because as soon as we cut, I'm going to tell you about some people that's like, oh, that'd be great.
It wouldn't. It's so bad. But for you, I would do it. For the Enigma himself.
The Instagram you already have is beautiful. Great profile, beautiful face.
You know I haven't been on it in like 4 years.
And women were tagging you when you were on that great dating show, the best dating show.
All right.
They were literally saying, oh, I will be.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I will.
But I'm saying, I know.
Now I got time.
Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, folks, and we'll see you on the next episode of the next video from the Last Talk Show. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you. I know what you're thinking, friends. I want to watch more of his videos. Well, that's a beautiful thing. We've got this video here, which is one of my favorites. I promise you won't regret watching it. We also have this playlist if you just want to dive deep into what we do, or this video here. which is groundbreaking, or you can click this if you plan to subscribe, which I hope you do. So thank you for watching, folks. We've got a lot of content just for you. Hope you enjoy.